A very good evening to you and welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa. Rwanda and Tanzania have committed to strengthening their cooperation and bilateral ties for the benefit of the people of both countries. This was the focus of discussions between the leaders of both countries as Tanzania's President Samia Suluhu Hassan began a two-day state visit to Rwanda. Sergeant Nore has the details.
The Tanzanian president arrived on Monday morning and was received by Rwanda's foreign affairs minister, after which she was received by President Paul Kagame at Village Rugwiro. After the national anthems of both countries were played, the two dignitaries held a tete-a-tete. A joint press conference was also held.
Kwa mara nyingine napenda nishukuru kaka yangu Rais Kagame kwa kunialika kuja Rwanda. Hii ni heshima kubwa kwetu. Inatuonesha kwamba Rwanda yuko karibu.
I would like to once again thank my brother, President Kagame, for inviting me to come to Rwanda. This is a great honor for us. It shows that Rwanda is close to Tanzania and that Tanzania is close to Rwanda. I would also like to deliver a message of our sympathies to you, Your Excellency, and all of the people of Rwanda. On behalf of the government and people of Tanzania, following the tremors your country experienced in May, though the effects were not severe. I also want to thank you sincerely, Mr. President, you and all Rwandans, for the way you supported us day to day during the difficult period we experienced when our country lost our leader, the late Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, who was the President of the United Republic of Tanzania. We are truly grateful for the important support that was provided.
Dr. John Pombe Magufuli, aliyekuwa rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania. Tunashukuru sana kwa ushirikiano na mshikamano mkubwa.
Her Excellency Samia Suluhu Hassan also commented on her meeting with President Paul Kagame.
Kwa kiasi kikubwa mazungumzo yetu yalijikita zaidi masuala ya kuimarisha, kukuza ushirikiano wa kiuchumi.
The priority for our discussions focused on promoting trade cooperation between our countries. As you know, in today's world, relations between countries are largely based on trade, so we too should adopt that policy at the political level, be it at the ASC level and elsewhere. What is important, however, is that we agreed to boost our cooperation further, because both Rwanda and Tanzania are engaged in trade, investment, and we have good relations. Yet again, there are still many opportunities we need to exploit so that trade and investment can develop further for the benefit of both sides.
Mzuri tulionao, bado kuna fursa nyingi tunazoweza kuzitumia ili kukuza biashara na uwekezaji kwa faida ya pande zote mbili.
On his part, President Kagame pointed out that Rwanda's relations with Tanzania have deep roots.
Rwanda and Tanzania share more than just a border. Our strong historical ties and common aspiration to deliver prosperity to our people have always been central to our cooperation. Rwanda stands ready to work closely with our brothers and sisters in Tanzania in the context of the East African community and beyond, to speed up our countries and our regions' recovery from the COVID-19 pandemic. The challenges that our region faces can only be addressed through unwavering solidarity and seizing the opportunities for mutually beneficial partnerships.
On the first of her two-day visit in Rwanda, Tanzania's president also visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial located at Gisozi and is expected to visit the Kigali Special Economic Zone located at Masoro on Tuesday, as well as other locations.
President Paul Kagame and his Tanzanian counterpart Samia Suluhu Hassan have noted that the agreements that have been signed between Rwanda and Tanzania at various levels aims at strengthening the existing cooperation between the two countries and to boost the development of various projects.
The four agreements that were signed between Rwanda and Tanzania include the development of information and communication technology, immigration, education, and the regulation of medical products. The signing of the agreements was followed by one-on-one talks between the two leaders. President Paul Kagame pointed out that the agreements that came at the sidelines of President Samia Suluhu Hassan's visit to Rwanda will further strengthen existing cooperation between the two countries.
With the signing of these agreements, we are committed to ensuring that this visit leads to tangible results and gives renewed momentum to our bilateral relationship. This also gives new impetus to key infrastructure and investment projects of mutual benefit, particularly the standard gauge railway line, milk production, and improved port logistics.
The President of the United Republic of Tanzania, Samia Suluhu Hassan, also stressed that the relations between the two countries show strong friendship and brotherhood and that it will continue to promote trade.
Lakini tulizungumzia pia masuala ya ushirikiano kwenye mambo ya tehama. Kama mnavyojua, Tanzania tuna mkongo ambao
we discussed about cooperation in communication and technology. As you know, Tanzania has an internet broadband channel that passes underwater and is used by a number of countries, including Rwanda. And today we signed an agreement for cooperation in communication technology. We thank Rwanda for making exciting strides in technology, and we are ready to learn from that. We also discussed about the COVID-19 pandemic, and we established measures of cooperation, especially at the Rusumo border regarding the regulation of medical products. In general, we have agreed to further the good existing relations, the historical relations, the brotherly relations.
Kwa ujumla, tumekubaliana kuendeleza ushirikiano uliopo, ambao ni ushirikiano wa kihistoria na ushirikiano wa kindugu.
An agreement in the field of information and communication technology was signed by Rwanda's Minister of IT and Innovation, Ingabire Paula, and Tanzania's Minister of Communication, Faustin Ndungurire. Other agreements signed include immigration cooperation, education cooperation agreements, and agreements on the regulation of medical products. On the Tanzanian side, the agreement was signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the East African Community, Liberata Mula, and Dr. Vincent Biruta, Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. In addition to the agreements signed before the heads of state, there are other agreements related to infrastructure cooperation, such as the construction of a railway road and the construction of the Rusumo hydroelectric power plant. Cooperation between Tanzania and Rwanda is also reflected in cross-border trade. Statistics indicate that over 80% of Rwanda's imports pass through the port of Dar es Salaam. Rwanda is also considered by Tanzania as its trade gateway to the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
To trade matters between Rwanda and Tanzania, Tanzanian investors here in Rwanda and the Rwandans that work in their factories have said that the good relations between Rwanda and Tanzania have made a positive impact on their progress. Ghislaine Mugwaneza has the report.
It's been 10 years since Bakresa Grain Milling Rwanda Limited, known as Azam, started operating in the Kigali Special Economic Zone. More than $30 million was invested in this company, and it produces 500 tons of wheat flour per day, with 97% of the work done there by Rwandans.
I have spent 10 years working at Azam. I worked here after finishing my studies, and I was single. I'm now married and have my own house, so I live well because of this job.
Rwandans that work in Azania group of companies have appreciated the fact that they got jobs in Tanzanian companies, which have transformed their lives. It was hard before getting this job. It's a good thing that I got a job because of the good relation between Rwanda and Tanzania. I have a cow and 2 goats. And as you see, I'm still young. I will achieve more. The heads of Tanzanian companies that operate here in Rwanda have observed that the good relations between the two countries provide an important pillar of commercial development.
Investing in Rwanda
as Tanzanian investors help both Rwandans and Tanzanians. We are happy to operate in Rwanda, and we are requesting other Tanzanian investors to invest in Rwanda because of the fact that it is a secured country. When you want information and legal documents, you only ask at one place, and everything goes well. Rwanda is straightforward.
Hakuna njia za panya. Hakuna. Ni country ambayo iko straightforward.
Birashimishije ko habaho umubano mwiza wa politiki kugira ngo bifungure ayo marembo, ariko none binadufashe kuko investment.
It pleases us when the political relationship keeps on progressing. We have reached on the level where Rwandans invest in Tanzania. We also have things like Progressive Group in media, in transport and so on. We believe that the more the relationship keeps on progressing, the more investment will occur in Rwanda, because the most important thing is the political will.
Iyo umubano ukomeje kuba mwiza, izo investment zindi nazo zishoboka ko zakorwa kubera ko umubano mu byukuri uba umeze neza.
Tanzanian investors have not only invested in the industrial sector, but also in transportation and commerce. According to the United Nations Comtrade database on international trade, Rwanda exports goods to Tanzania worth $295 million every year. The Rwanda Private Sector Federation indicates that 90% of all imports pass through the port of Dar es Salaam. In 2019, Tanzanian investment in Rwanda were worth more than $5 million. Shislen Mugwaneza, RTV News.
Thank you, Ghislaine, for the report. The Ministry of Health says the vaccination program in the city of Kigali aims to vaccinate 300,000 people in a month and a half. This will include people above the age of 40, pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers. Jedumali has the details.
At the Camp Kigali site on Monday, about 3,700 people, including those working in institutions, various agencies, and pharmacists, were vaccinated with the first dose of the COVID-19 vaccine. This included pregnant and breastfeeding mothers who were not allowed to be vaccinated in the early stages of vaccination. I am 7 months pregnant. We were scared since pregnant women had started to fall ill due to the coronavirus infection, and we weren't allowed to get vaccinated. Now that we are aware that nothing bad shall happen to us if we get vaccinated, we are happy to protect ourselves from the virus. Residents say they appreciate the government for helping them protect their health without the requirement to pay for it.
COVID-19 is devastating. We see news of it affecting people and its fatal effects. I'm happy that I'm protected, but it does not remove my role and my responsibility of prevention by following the instructions given by the health authorities.
In addition to those vaccinated on Monday, the Minister of State in charge of primary health care says that 10,000 people will be vaccinated a day and more than 300,000 in a month and a half.
We have a wide range of people to vaccinate in Kigali City, especially people in their 40s, women over 12 weeks pregnant, breastfeeding mothers, and people working in developmental institutions. Vaccines are very important because this virus is new. It takes a time for the immune system to fight against it efficiently. The vaccine makes the immune system's job easier, and one can easily cope with.
The Minister of State in charge of primary health care says that also pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers will be vaccinated after confirming that no harm will come to their health from it.
We did not start by vaccinating pregnant women at the time because the vaccines had not been researched to show their reaction in pregnant women. With the research, we found that there would be no fatal side effects for pregnant women. Among the people we're losing now, most of them are young people, pregnant women, and those who gave birth earlier than planned. We want to vaccinate them earlier to prevent them from getting infected with this disease. The vaccine assists the immune system since it is reduced due to the need for more nutrients in the maintenance and growth of the baby.
In Rwanda, over 460,000 people have been fully vaccinated. That is to say, they have been given both doses of the vaccine. Officials in the Ministry of Health say that 300 million vaccines have already been paid and the country is now waiting for their arrival. There are currently around 200,000 vaccines and more are received. More people will be vaccinated. On Tuesday, vaccinations will continue across the country. Umgari Jade, RTV News.
Thank you, Jade. The Zimbabwe Minister of Defense, Honorable Opa Chamu Vipange Muchunguri Kashiri, is in Rwanda for a two-day official visit from the 2nd to the 3rd of August 2021. She paid a courtesy call on the Minister of Defense of Rwanda, Major General Albert Murasira, at RDF headquarters in Kimihurura and held discussions on how to strengthen the bilateral defense cooperation between Rwanda and Zimbabwe.
Already in the past, we were training commanders from the Rwandan Defense Forces. And we are hoping that this will continue. There is a lot of pressure coming from our own officers that we need to renew our relationship and continue training. They want also to exchange information on what is happening in Mozambique, particularly in Cabo Delgado. So we want to take advantage that bilaterally we exchange notes, then also find ways on how in Mozambique, since we are going to be deploying forces also as SADC, since we are the region which is housing Mozambique.
She also emphasized that Rwanda and Zimbabwe have a long-standing relationship which goes as far as 1997, during which a memorandum of understanding was signed and remains in existence.